Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to David Nair on air, all the way from not down under, but from Chennai, India. I understand we are broadcasting this to a number of sectors in different parts of the world, starting off obviously with India, South Africa, UAE, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, and some of the European countries. I won't list them all. But ladies and gentlemen, some do ask, who is this guy called David Nair? Peak performance coach, keynote speaker, platform speaker, author of a book, and at the same time currently working and doing a number of workshops, masterminds. Prime focus today is to talk on purpose, and I'd like to share my purpose before I bring the guest speaker on. My purpose has been very simply put from 1998, has been stuck to this, to create a mindset shift and a heart set shift, soul set shift in 1 million people, and that's my prime reason for coming to India. What does it provide? Very simply, it does provide for a development and creation of legacy for the next generation of people that are going through some of these patterns for change, thereby leaving behind a footprint for the rest of the world to follow. Giving hope. What is hope to me? Very simply, help other people evolve. So ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let me introduce you to the prime speaker here today, a distinguished person, heavily involved with development of people for the last 3 to 4 years. I've known Sumana for the last 1 year. And in the course of doing that, I've got to understand her modus operandi, the way she does work. And I'd like to share that with you today through the concept of purpose in the light of what we're doing currently with the launch of our book, a collaborative book of 30 authors titled GRAIL, Take Your Life Right with Purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Sumana, Dr. Sumana Chakravarti.
Thank you, David Nair. It's an honor and a pleasant surprise to be here with you. Namaste. Hello, everyone from who is watching the show. Thank you for watching us. It's an honor to be able to connect with you. My prime focus today is to give in some value in respect of understanding very simple terms, how to very simply live on life, yet have your purpose, have it focused, and have a great way towards having life today. So thank you, David Nair. It's been
fabulous. Thank you very much. Sumana, why don't we sort of start off with a little bit about your background, going back some years, because I want to sort of get that, because that's where your foundations were built. Your why and how you journaled through that from point A to where you are today. Thank you.
Well, it can either go in one sentence or it can take about 5 minutes. So I'll go for the 5-minute one for every one of you. Every one of you. So like any other person, my roots are in my childhood, where I saw my grandmother, who is a very, very stubborn person, who is a struggler, who is a survival instinct woman. And I learned and imprinted a lot from her, and also became a very stubborn person. So yes, I am stubborn. I am very, very strong, and I am very, very sincere. So I think these three things together was inbuilt in me in my childhood. Yet at that time, my sincerity used to be called as too naive. And in my childhood, and even in most of my formative years in my schoolings and colleges, my stubbornness used to be called as, you as a woman being stubborn can destroy a lot of things. Women should not be stubborn. Please do not be stubborn. And it's a negative character. And so was my strength. I mean, me being strong used to be called as, women shouldn't be that strong. You should be more sweet than being strong. And so it was a mixed emotion in which I grew up, because I saw my grandmother being the person that I am, and then seeing others telling me that I shouldn't be that. So I'm one of those people who had my why inside me, in my core, where I knew always that I want to be strong and I want to just spread strength all around everyone in some form of the another. Yet in my formative years, while I was in my college, well, while I was in my schoolings, the incidents that happened to me, few of them broke me completely. And yet, they rebuilt me in the form of understanding that my strength is actually my power. My being able to smile and spread smile with strength is my power. And me being sincere to each and everything, I either do 100% of something or just don't start it. I mean, look at
Mm.
it through each and everything that I ever started in my life. I've looked at each of every one of them till the finishing point, no matter what. And that stubbornness, sincerity, whatever you call it, is the core of my purpose again. That's one of my tools and characters of my purpose that grew up. Now, in the last few years, what basically changed in me from all the learnings, from all everything that I got in life, all my failures and all my accomplishments together taught me, or rather thinking about them taught me that this this purpose is for me to have this smile for everyone, ever, always, in every situation. Smile, as use it as the biggest power that you ever can have, and spread it to millions of people. Now, when I say the smile, it's not like I'm going to smile on you and I'm going to spread it to you. The point is, whatever you want in life, you want to become rich, you want somebody to love you, you want something, anything, spirituality, you want some good family life, whatever you want and need in your life, you are the one who becomes it. So you are the one who provides that, for that wealth, for that health, for that relationship, for everything that you're waiting for somebody else to give you. You become that. And that's the smile. That's the super you. And that's my purpose, entire purpose. And it has always been there. Just I realize it now that it has always been there, that I spread the smile, and the smile comes by you doing what you really want to do in your life. And that's it. That's me
Fabulous.
and my genuine purpose.
Fabulous. But it's interesting though, Sumana, despite challenges and despite handicaps that held you back, you struggled through that with a smile and you came out of it and still worked through your purpose in your corporate life and in some of your CSR projects. You want to elaborate on that?
Well, I think more than the word purpose here, what I would want to use the word is the strength to be able to be encompassed towards the purpose. What happens most of the time with many of us is, when we are dealing with the hard times, tragedies, letdowns, or people around us, very near and dear ones, tell us that we are not taking the right decision, or there is a safer path to go. Like for me, stereotypically, I'm a dentist. Please go for a dental clinic. And it's still now that everyone around me tells me, why not stop doing all of the struggle that you do each and every day and just sit in a dental clinic? Well, that's not my purpose, so I'm not doing it. So to be able to say this, well, that's not my purpose and I'm not doing this, you require a lot of strength,
Hmm.
a lot of strength. And that strength again is interbound with your strongest whys and deeper whys. Why is this work important to me? Why am I spending each and every day talking to hundreds and thousands of strangers, making sure that they are, really being good in their life? They are, taking up something which is important to them. They are dealing with their weaknesses. Why am I doing that instead of going ahead and sitting in the clinic? So it's more about the strength to be oriented towards your why, and that comes from within, completely from within, to be able to ask oneself each and every day, at each and every moment, that why am I doing what am I doing today? Whatever I'm doing, whatever at this moment I'm doing, why am I doing that today? So that's the strength. And that's how the strength and your purpose are related, like this. So if you have a purpose, you'll have a sweet, great dream, and you'll wake up in the morning, rush for your work. Yes, yet when you wake up in the morning, David, and everyone, guys, when you wake up in the morning, it's not your purpose, it's first the strength to wake up, Then the gratitude that, wow, I really got again today to serve my purpose. And then you rush for the day to serve the purpose. It's not one action, it's three actions. When you have the strength to wake up, get up really hard, wow, I'm strong today, wake up healthy. Then it's gratitude that, wow, I got this day. Thank you so much for giving me one more day to serve my purpose. And then the purpose and rush for it. And that's how I put it.
It's interesting to have some of these, within inverted commas I call them, rituals, your daily rituals, morning and evening, and then we've reflected that in our 5 a.m. club within MRM. That in itself gives us enough strength to drive forward the next day, to drive forward the next 24 hours. Whatever challenges comes in our way, we focus and we switch that off. Moving on from where we are now, could you just identify a trigger point, what turned it for you, and how did this purpose evolve to a grander scale?
What I would come here to say about is, I would have said, ideally, many of you should have been thinking that I will say my life experiences. But let me get you, all of you, out of one of the myths here. It's not the experiences that taught me. No, it is my reflection on those experiences that taught me. So I sat forth each time life pulled me down, each time my best friend ditched me, each time a very near and dear one never even thought to understand what am I aiming for. Each time a best friend came out and said that I'm not helping you because I don't agree with what you're doing, I sat and I reflected on that experience and thought, not thought what he or she did wrong. I thought, how can I do this differently? How can I make sure that whatever I want to do is dependent completely on me? And that each and every time doing that, reflecting on my experience, gave me what today educational edutech industry calls as reflective learning. From my entire experiences, I took one lesson at a time, changed a bit of me every time. I heard each and everyone giving me advices, but as I said, I'm stubborn. So I did what I want to do. I keep doing what I want to do. I just oriented those advices and teachings that I needed for my purpose, and took me one day ahead. It's just one day ahead every time. And the deeper the sorrow this particular tragedies and ditches and emotional backfalls are, the deeper they are, it's easier to take only one step at a time, just one lesson at a time. Reflect on one thing, bring that one small change, give yourself that, I give myself evidences, David. It's not like I don't think of it, I will be doing it next time. I give myself small evidences of a bit of change. Okay, so I bring in here one of the things. It's very personal, yet I mean, I'm sharing it with all of you guys here who's listening to me now. I've been suffering from a chronic pain disorder, chronic psychosomatic pain disorder for a decade, and the entire decade it used to pull me down many times, and every time I used to change one small thing in me. Maybe change the bit of sleeping time, change a bit of exercise at a time, change decreasing the time that I talk to a person at a time. They're very different things. And just to check whether this one helps, whether that one helps, whether doing this differently helps, or whether doing that differently helps. That's exploring life, and that's how I deal with anything, all experiences for that matter. And I then come up with an idea. Okay, these guys are toxic to me, I should stay away. These guys are good to me. These people can lift me up. I need them. They are, even if they are rude, but I need them because I know what they have, I don't have, and I need to have that. And that's how I keep building. And that's it's very simple. It's reflective learning. Compass to my purpose is each and every time. So reflective learning, and the compass is towards the North Pole is my purpose. And it's very, very simple. Then I don't know how simpler can I get about this. This is very simple formula. Your reflective learning towards your experience and compass towards your purpose. That's it.
That in itself, I must thank you for taking the strength to draw that out and share publicly that ailment which you had not done before. Salute you for that. And many people don't. They don't have that. Now, it's great because what we're trying to do is ensure the public out there can really appreciate and understand the journey that a person has to take from A to B. It's not just a magic flick of the wand. So I salute you for that. Thank you so much. The importance
so
is
David and everyone, I can speak about this because finally I'm out of it. After a
yes.
decade, I am completely cured of a psychosomatic chronic pain disorder. Completely cured. By doing just this, reflective learning and changing and being focused to my purpose. That's what got me out of it.
Yep, fabulous. And there are some within the group who do suffer it. Here's an example of how we can come through that process. Thank you. Coming through to the next significant thing that I'd like to touch on, the importance and significance of a why for a person.
I can go miles talking about this.
I can only give you 7 minutes, okay?
I can go miles talking about this. Okay, let me put it this way, and kind of twist it a bit for everyone. How many of you listening to me at this moment always have heard and thought by yourself as well that it is first the bills, it is first the needs, it is first the family requirements, it is first the private times, family times, commitments, and then my passion, and then my purpose? I mean, without even asking, I know there are many people out there thinking like that. So if you're one of them, let me address this directly to you and say that that's a myth you're living in. Because when you are able to think about the why in a way that it happily serves your needs, your why, your purpose happily serves your needs, that's where you are out of all your shackles. And that deep is how a why goes for you. And when I say a why, a purpose, this is not a goal. This is not a quarterly goal. This is not a yearly goal. This is not a salaried job. This is not a career. No. It is everything that you do in life is not pulled to one thing that you will keep doing while you're doing the other things. And I'll put in an example of a friend of mine, and I'm not taking his and her names because I've been asked to keep it anonymous. So there's this person, okay, who is a core software corporate person, software engineering corporate person, a complete corporate person, sedentary lifestyle. 6 years he goes on doing 9 to 5, and very casually doing so, happily doing so, no problem, passionately likes what they're doing and doing each and every time. Now one day he just out of the blue comes to his friend, and the friend says that please go ahead and we want to do something together, like come up with a startup company together. Okay, the thought itself changed a bit in him. He thought, can I do a startup company with doing all of this? Let me try. Got him to the first thing. That's first significance for you to come out of the comfort zone and think, let me try. Okay, that's the first step of the significance of why. And then he went ahead and he started then using at least 1 to 2 hours of his active office time into surfing the net and finding out what else he can do to become the entrepreneur with continued job. What can he do? What skills does he need? What knowledge does he need? He started dedicating just 1 hour consistently every day. Every day, 1 hour consistently. And it took him just 6 months to completely change his way of thoughts, to completely look at the entire picture differently, and at the same time understand and come through that his why is in serving people to become lazier than they are. Have you heard a better, crazier why than this? I'm sure you haven't. But there is a person in this world who is out there creating thousands and millions of lazier people than they are. Get lazy. Get so many tools for yourself that you get lazy. Just do only the smart work and no hard works at all. And he himself is not very aware of it in the first, but then he did that. And I'm purposely not saying always about me. I have other people around also, and so I'm taking their story out as well. One of the things that is, it's something that it's a myth which needs to also get out in this entire understanding of your why is that we have been taught and groomed and conditioned with a myth called time management. Okay, you don't have a control on time. Stop trying to manage it. Stop managing it. What you have a control on is your actions. You only have 24 hours. Though it looks like to many of my colleagues around the world that I have 30 hours, but I don't. Neither does David. We all have the God-given 24 hours of the day. Only that we are out of the myth of managing time. We are managing the actions that we do in our time. What number of actions, and you go very deeper in and more authentic, good work and actions when you know your why, because you will do one action which will serve 10 of the tools of which will get you one step, two step ahead in your purpose, and you'll be very, very clear about them. So getting the why, the significance of why, comes in managing your time, managing your action, managing yourself, keeping you healthy, keeping every action that you do to the optimum productivity ever. Because you don't remain to be only a dentist, only a trainer, only an entrepreneur, only an author. You become a human being who is able to do each and of this very, very effortlessly.
Yep.
The clearer your why gets, the clearer you go about that. So there's these myths that you have in your head. Time to be managed. You can only do 9 to 5 of your corporate. You can only log in to log out. You can only sit in front of your in front of your computer doing only your office work. All these are myths in your head. Get out of them. When you're not doing your office work, might as well learn what else can you do. Might as well find out how else can you can contribute to the world. You can even write a book when you're feeling lazy in the corporates. Corporates, pardon me. Productivity will increase. Productivity will increase if a person is at least writing a book instead of just wasting their time on in front of the screen not working. So productivity will increase rather. So that's the significance that I can show you, David, and I can show you guys. And again, putting it very simply, these are myths. Don't get into them. Time management is a myth. Action management is the actual word. And when you talk about you need to complete your bills before you strive for your purpose, no, you need to have your purpose so that all your bills are fulfilled in time, before time, and you have extra money to enjoy as well. You've oriented towards that.
Yes. Yeah, you see, this shift in thinking, how you're going to wade your way through point A to point B. What is one trait that you think underlines it all? Self-discipline? Will it be, or could it be control of your mind? Or could it be having the vision that that's where I want to go? How would you consolidate this to say in a nutshell, hey, let me go and build on that so I can get these things? What is one trait?
Consistency.
Thank you.
You can call that discipline as well, but discipline to be consistent at doing something no matter what. Choose just one thing and keep doing it. And don't pick up everything and then not doing anything. Just choose one thing. Yeah, I mean, doing everything a bit and buts doesn't help. But go ahead and do one thing and keep doing it consistently. consistently, really, really, and things will open up for you. They will. So if you ask me what do I do consistently, I do what I love consistently. Read. Read. I just read. And then because I'm reading so much, and I make sure that whatever I'm reading in 24 hours is gone to others within the 24 hours itself. So I train. See? And when I train, I bring in what am I reading at this moment, giving more value from the domain to the storytelling. And I don't need to think about storytelling because I'm reading. At the same time, those stories come in, my experiences that I had, whatever I learned, I give it out. So consistently, but I'm doing it consistently no matter what. I'm never stopping at anything. No, nothing in the world can stop me. I can pause, I can rest, but I'm never stopping. So consistency, yes. And you can apply that, guys, not only to your work, but apply that first to your daily routine. You can have just 7 things that you do daily routine, consistently do them. It can be anything that you're doing, but 7, pick up 7 actions that you do, but do them consistently. That foundation of consistently doing small things gives you the pillar, first step towards building what you really want. And then you can choose your skills, you can choose your knowledge, you can choose your inspirations and everything, and then build on that pillar and go to the zenith yourself. I mean, you won't actually need anybody else. You will be the one carving your own way out. If that helps.
Yeah, very much so. In fact, that's the core to this. And that's why one of the key foundations in which I drive my coaching and my mentoring is on small shifts generate big gains. And if you know how to play with those small shifts, you make building blocks of your Lego to get the apex. And most people don't understand this. The grandiose ideas are cut down to small shifts. And thank you for sharing that. And the other thing that's come out of this discussion is, please practice. You have to do your walk the walk before you do the talk. Otherwise, nothing comes into play. And many people don't realize this. They sit back, and as you said, I read a lot. You read a lot. And the key element is reading is great, fantastic. But unless you put it to action, it's of no value within 24 hours. And that's the key to this, guys. And thank you for opening that up a lot. And also reading, because that's another aspect many don't do. And we should encourage that a lot. Moving on. Sorry, go on. No,
sorry.
Please. Yeah.
That's 30 seconds. I'm so sorry. So no, I think that's...
I have a minute, okay? You know how we work at night. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I just want to twist that a bit because many of you listening to David at this moment must be thinking, oh my God, I did so many small changes in my life, the entire life. Yes, you did, but did you do it consistently till it became your lifestyle? Not habit, not 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, but your complete lifestyle. Now, people ask me now that doing so much of work, when do you get to read? I don't know. It's in my lifestyle. I wake up to read. I go down to read. I don't know. It just happens involuntarily, effortlessly to me. And anybody asks me to see and learn from a YouTube video, I tell them, can I have a blog, please? Because I don't want to change, because that's how I have made myself to be able to read quickly, scan quickly, understand something, apply it directly. So I'm not going to change myself just like that. It's not that I'm not open to those things, but I'm not going to directly change it because it's my lifestyle. And then taking training is my lifestyle. Taking course sessions, asking the right questions is my lifestyle. When I became a coach, I had given myself a challenge of 90 days of no advice, only questions, please. And I used to take down whenever I used to go wrong. Like whenever I used to give an advice, I used to take down. Till now, if anybody tells me thank you for your advice, I take a step back and did I advise? And then I say, okay, maybe I asked a question, they took it as an advice, but I make sure that I'm not advising, because that's the core of being a coach. I go to the core, I become what a coach is. No matter what kind of coach, but it's just a coach is a person who will not advise, but ask the right question. And you can ask my colleagues and everyone. I don't advise. I ask them I ask them a question which gets them to their path every time, because I'm a coach. I'm not going to advise. I don't even take advices most of the times. I tell them, can you just help if you want to help, but don't advise. I have been very well known to not take advices from people. Yes.
Two things that just came out of this small segment here. One aspect is the question of when do you find time to read and how do you read? Now, I asked this question and just reflect on this, okay? How many of you have got a book in your bag now? When you're walking, when you're talking, waiting in a lift, when you're sitting down in a reception, when you're sitting in a bus, guys, you don't have to watch the girls. You can look at a book. I hope the message is coming through. There is so much of idle time that is just splurged without even concentrating the power of reading when you can allocate time for it. You don't need to put aside 1 hour. These little bits of time accumulate to an hour. That's the key element. Extremely important to understand. Now, also the other thing, Sumana, that come out of here is when we do things like this, coaching, when we do things like this, mentoring, questions are the key to this. Mastery, the art of questions. This is a small shift. When you understand that and you go and master that, then you are able to move on to the next rather than just flipping through it. Sure. Okay, and I hear it so often, many people, they just key through a lot of these points thinking they're mastering it. Remember in our week 3, we did that demo called practice, practice, practice. And somebody came up to you and asked you the question, if you did not know that, why didn't you come and ask me? I could have told you that. Recall that?
Okay, I know, I recall that, David, but I think the viewers doesn't know about it. So might not as well bring behind the scenes to us. Now, what happened here, for the viewers, I am giving this a snapshot. What happened here is me and David, we did a drama. We did a code drama for our mastermind session to tell them the essence of practice, practice, practice. So I was make the scapegoat, and I said things like, I'm confused. I never make the right decisions. I'm always very confused, so on and so forth. And he was saying practice for everything issue that I have. They said practice. So some of my colleagues at that time, my mastermind buddies, they were concerned. They thought I'm really that kind of a person who can't take my decisions properly. And they said, they called me up saying that we are coaches and we can have a co-session with you and get you out of your situation. And I was shocked because I was thinking, oh, you didn't realize that I was acting? Do I look like a person who can't be take decisions? So it was a lot of fun. Oh. Yes, we me and David, we have a lot of fun when we are taking mastermind sessions. Because I think, and I'm telling this on behalf of the host as well, though I'm the guest, I'm telling on behalf of the co-host as well, that we both of us have one thing in common, apart from having a very definite purpose. We also think that your learnings, your changes in life cannot be imposed with strictness and instructions. It can be imposed with you casually, smilingly, effortlessly, happily, and restfully taking it all up. And that's the reason we both of us do a lot of fun sessions when we are having our sessions, be it with corporate, be it with others, be it with kids, be it with oldies. We all have a lot of, we bring in a lot of spices. And that's the reason, that's a core reason, because when things are taken with, a lot of restfulness and acceptance is far better. So, yeah. And that's one of the reasons we do that. We love the things that we do, and we are sharing that on screen with all of you because we also want each and every one of you to do everything that you do, really accept them, that you're doing them, and enjoy each and everything that you do in a day, because the more you enjoy them, the more you will see the impact and productivity of what you're doing. And if you grumble and not be happy about what you're doing, it's not going to give you those impacts. You're not going to see the magic happening. The magic happens when you are happy about what you're doing, whatever you're doing, for that matter.
Fantastic. We've gone through work attitude and all of that. I want now to talk about money attitude. Can we hone in on that, please?
And what do you want me to talk about that?
the journey that you went through in relation to sharing stories about instances and situations where purpose was driven for the youth, purpose was driven for relatives, purpose was driven for self in the drive to acquire money.
Well, let me put this like this for everyone, for David and everyone here again. So it's the same thing. I've talked about this in one liner before, that you're kind of thinking that you need to first take care of your needs, and money is the biggest inspiration for me. Yes, 100%. Give me money, I'm doing stuffs. You're not giving me money, I'm not doing stuffs. Okay, so obviously and understandable, very much so. I am the sole earner of my own family, so I know the bills and matters of pocket are really very important. Yet it's not true that it's again not being not true. It's a myth that after you're done with your mid-age work and corporate, and then when you're in the second innings, can you think about purpose? No, you rather start thinking, not only thinking, but finding your why at the youngest possible age that you
Mm,
can, because then you will build the foundations of learning learning how to earn the money, the respect, the position, and the commitment that you deserve in your life. When a teenager learns and understands the why behind what they are doing, they understand that they're giving value. They understand the importance of claiming money for it. And I'll bring in an example of a kiddo. He is related to me, but I'm not taking in again any kind of personal things in it. But I've had a group of youths that I join in, and when I say youth, they are in their schools. They're in their school, like ninth standard, fifth standard kiddos, and these guys are, one of them I bring in here is a person who is passionate about drum drumming. Okay, he's about music. He likes the rhythm of music, is about music, and his strongest belief is everything in the world is rhythm. People go by rhythm. Everyone has a music in them, and you got to connect with that music. And his why is his purpose in life. He's in his fifth standard, and his purpose in his life is already very clear. Whatever he does in his life, he's going to make sure that people understand this particular thing. He spreads this particular notion to everyone, that everyone comes with a rhythm and a music, and that connecting to that music is really very important. And this, what has shifted for him is, it drove him to learn a lot of rhythms, learn a lot of drumming without having any formal education in music or waiting for an academy to teach him. Reason is his why, not his. It's not like his hobby and his just his, that he is interested in it, because he's so passionately driven towards his purpose of showing everyone that each one can be connected with, each human being can be connected with music, that he has drove himself to complete. At this moment, he has completed half of Gitanjali, which is the noble work of Rabindranath Tagore, and he is just in fifth standard. This is the kind of power that a youth with a clear thing can get. There's this another person who is in ninth standard, and then he's a genius in coding. Now you'll say that every person nowadays learns coding, but he's a guy who can give you a website completed, the website, like back end of the website completed in 15 minutes, and then will tell you you can do the designing now, and done so. Now this guy is in ninth standard, but he doesn't do the service of in 15 minutes, giving the backend for free. He asks for money. He says that, give me the money, and he'll give you his dad's bank details and say that, give me the money. Reason, and he says his reason very clearly. If I were a adult person, you would be giving the money. Why does it make you think that because I'm a kiddo, then you are not going to pay for what you got? Because that's a value I'm giving you, to pay back to me. This is not something that I'm doing for practice. I'm actually giving you something professional. Understanding that I'm giving value at the age of being in ninth standard, is the power that he has, because his reasons, his purpose is to get everybody to understand that technology is not that hard. Technology is very simple. He makes sure that he helps each and every his grandmothers and grandfathers kind of people, who would go around to being my parents kind of people, and that those generation who want to learn, but they are a bit scared about the technology and stuff. So he'd take his time to patiently to train them, to put them through. Now these purpose driven kiddos are seeing life much more broader than we can ever think. They are looking at money, they're looking at the kind of wealth much more broader than you can think. Now again, purpose won't give you quick money. So that's my own experience. If you're driven through a purpose and a passion, it won't give you a quick money. You can't have a lot of money at the very beginning. And I'm going to steal a sentence from David himself: amateurs don't get paid, it's professional. So it's on you again, how faster do you become that professional, so you can drive it faster, become a professional faster. That's from my experience that I'm telling you, that the faster you become a professional, you are paid, and then you can build on it, and then you can build on it. And purpose will keep you grounded, and will give you money consistently, give you the, because you're giving value, you will get the money, no worries on that. As long as you know that you're giving the value through your purpose, you are going to get the money, and you're going to get the stability, and it's not going to be very difficult, and at all difficult. It's not difficult at all. The point is about you growing. Are you ready to grow? Like, not be labor of other people, but rather be your own labor. Be laborious person yourself, grow yourself, become a superlative version of yourself each and every day. Become the professional that you ought to be, and then grow. Now, am I saying that all of you have to be entrepreneurs? No, please do not misinterpret me, because when I said this, I also felt to myself, am I saying the whole world should go entrepreneurs? No, not at all. What I mean is grow from what you have been yesterday, some way or the other. Grow. Just make yourself to the superlative version, and that's all. And your money needs, your financial needs, as well as your entire luxurious needs, will be not only fulfilled, it will be far more heart oriented than show off oriented. And I have no other better way to show this. Like, you will not earn and show off people to save your face, but you will earn and spend on things that really means to you, to
Means
grow
to you.
yourself, to your family, and so on and so forth. You will be far more grounded, and I think nothing better can happen to people than getting really grounded about things. So yeah,
That's the distinction, the power in this term called purpose, and many have missed it. Unfortunately, when I say that, I'm talking about the people that I've had been exposed to for the last 3 decades. Bringing that into learning, okay, it's important. We spoke about experience and where we tap. Now, learning, what do we look for? How do we look for, so we can align it back to our purpose? What sort of learning, and where do we go for it?
you how about this, David? Why are you asking me questions that I always have to twist?
No,
Anyway,
I'm throwing it. You're not going to question me on this
I'm again.
platform.
I am going to twist this again for you all, guys. It's not about going to the university and the school and the campus and searching for that Udemy course that will help you to skill grade up. No, it's not. Your purpose is your campus. Your
Hmm.
purpose itself is your campus. And before you start thinking, how is this woman telling me this, let me explain this very, very clearly. Now, you know your why, okay? I'm taking my own example. My why being that I want to spread smiles to each and every face, and 1 million face. Now, I know for sure that you guys are going to smile when you're happy, when you have accomplished something, okay? So, and I also know, and this all of this learned from the academy of why and my purpose only, because when I'm thinking about my why, how can I get my why done, how can I go to my complete my vision and mission, I'm also looking at what are those people seeking. So when I'm working on that, what are those people seeking, I'm understanding what are the needs that I need to fulfill. So what are the needs, some kinds of needs that you guys would be having is to be felt appreciated, to have a lot of money, to have enough money, if not a lot of money, a lot of respect, to be loved by people you want to be loved. Now, all of this can be done by your own self. You can earn the money that you want. You can learn to earn the money that you want. You can learn to earn the respect that you want. You can learn to love your own self exactly the way you're seeking the love from anybody else. And you can be your own strength. You don't need to have to go to a second person seeking strength each and every time. You can be your own strength. Your own calmness can be your own strength. Now, when I know this, what do? Then I start seeking these tools. My learning of knowledge is done through my purpose. Now I seek those tools. What do I need to do? And that, in my life, the recent thing that happened and got me 1 year before to David, is that, and not even 1 year, I'm sorry, I know David for 1 year, but I came to David for asking for a help just, I think 4 to 5 months ago. I came to him asking for a help. And that's when I was, my why was at that time, I said, now I'm done with a lot of things in my life. How about exploring my personal life? How about starting, getting married like any other Indian woman? Anyway, being very frank about it, just getting married like any other Indian woman. And should I be doing that, getting married just like any other Indian woman? But this is Dr. Sumana. How can she do that? So I was like thinking, what's needed, in most important, needful in getting this particular thing started. And I saw that, and I understood that it's mental resilience, is the ability to be calm at each and every situation, return to my original mood and conversations no matter what happens, return to the duties and responsibilities no matter how sad or happy I am. Having that consistent elastic band in your brains. And I said, I need to see whether I have that correctly. I need to see whether I can groom on that and optimize that correctly. And that brought me to David. So now this entire thing is an example of how my why became my campus. And then I seeked my teacher in it, looking at the people who are working around me on mental resilience, and how am I going to seek from them. How I performed is for him to say, and not on this platform, please. If I did bad, don't say it on this platform. Even if I did bad, I just but this understanding of what is the skill set that I need is driven by why each and every time, and it is very stubbornly, clearly, concretely written. And then you don't need other people's advices anymore. You listen to them out of goodwill, yet you pick up the things that you really need and shut down all other things. And it doesn't just matter after that, because they don't understand. They will not know what I really wanted there. But I know what I wanted. As soon as I know what I want in my life, why I want that in my life, I'll stick to it. And it's not true only for Dr. Sumana, it is true for every one of you.
Everyone.
Thank you. I look forward to all of you joining and putting in an admission form to your purpose, please, today.
Thank you. And also on that note, there has been many requests coming in about MRM and what are we doing? Are we opening the doors? I'm going to be very frank with you. Sumana and I spoke about it. Yes, we are opening the doors now for anyone that wants to, and it is still complimentary. We're not charging anybody. That's how our purpose is. And please do that. As Sumana said, do your registration when and if you need at the channels that you can do that. Moving on, Sumana, how can we pull this together in relation to your drive, your thirst after you've seen what's happened in MRM? And can you just share your journey of what you got from purpose and the book GRAIL, and how it consolidated the team together to surge to the next level?
It's just not just one plot of it is mental resilience mastery, not entirely mental resilience mastery MRM, that they were saying just one cube of it. the driven cube, as I said, is my why of looking at relationships head on from now, just like I have been looking at my career head on now. With that, when I came into the mastermind, now mastermind, if anybody here who's not everybody has a mastermind, so the importance of mastermind is we are together helping each other, optimize our own strength and then work on each other's weaknesses. That's ideally for every one of you what's a mastermind is. Now, when we are in this team together, and when we started this journey of mental resilience mastermind, I saw many and I observed many of them who need kind of drive to self realize what their journey is of value. And I related that a lot to my own self. As I said in the very first, when we started this observation and I introduced myself, I said I'm a person who had my purpose, my why very much locked inside my heart, just suppressed by other people's talks and opinions. I had it in myself, just I did not know that that's my purpose. So I found many such other people in the group. And that what got me to thinking, when you can talk about your journey, when you get a platform, a place to write about your journey of how did you find your purpose, how many times you found it, how did those purposes change for you, and so on and so forth, it might be a great idea to at least give them that platform to think. And then, because I was having this conversation with none other than David Nair, he upgraded it to saying, let's make a book of it. I upgraded it next conversation to saying that how about when we are making a book, let's make it together, let's make it without using a single penny on anything. And then, as a last touch came from David, how about not even using this money for us, but using it for the older people, the people who are old and they need care for them, and for the people who are underprivileged and are in need of at least basic education graduation for them. Make sure that we do that. Now, this formed what I should say the foundation of the GRAIL, these conversations together, and how we drove it. Like, and when I say we, I include each and every one of the 30 people, is that I went ahead and threw a lot of bossy instructions and mentorships to my team, saying, okay, I need this done within 5 minutes, I need this done within 15 minutes, so on and so forth. Some of them going through with a lot of skill sessions in between, so that these guys know what they need to do, and making it very simple for everyone, and driving that through with mental resilience mastery mastermind, and grooming each and every one to write the chapter, proofread it themselves, bringing it to a editor. Me and one of my colleagues is an editor, then upgrading it to listing it, and ourselves publishing and listing it, taking it forth, and then coming up with another higher level of why and what do I want to go about it. So this book that it will be in your hands in a few days, guys listening to us here. I'm not promoting this. What I'm telling you is don't I don't need to promote this, actually, because I've seen what has gone through it. Okay, I mean, this is not only words, it's been the smiles, the tears, the frustrations, the learning curves of each and every one who has upgraded themselves from a person who might have before this just written a sentence or two, or written a chapter, or maybe one of few of them were authors as well, like I was an author already, yet none of them have ever done this end to end of writing, copy editing, completing pagination, and then publishing it, understanding everything, and internationally worldwide publishing it without help or service, expert services. We just went and entered that ourselves. Did we not get help from others? Yes, a lot of advisors, a lot of knowledges from many experts came in, and there have been people who are outside our community who has been very, very helpful, coming in
Yeah.
and helping us build the stuffs. And one of the major thing is a website. We went ahead and did a website. Many of us don't have our own landing pages, including me. Yet we went ahead. I have my own organizational one, but I don't have my own, and yet I went ahead and I did a lot of work on the website. So these are the reasons why you should be having that book in your hand, because that book will give you that power, that strength of that journey that not only is written but also people have gone through while bringing it to your hand. A lot of growth, a lot of strength, a lot of passion, and a lot of clarity in that. So, and each and every one of you, you have at least 5 minutes of your day when you feel a bit bored, when you feel like, why am I doing this? That's your time. You would just, open up this book, read just one of the chapters each and every time, and you don't need anybody else, no motivational seminars, nothing. And like a flick, you get back to your work that you really want to do. You'll have everything that you need, and self-reliant that too. There's an anthology, and taking this a bit ahead, telling everyone, we're looking at keeping this going. We're looking at having more additions to this, bringing in more authors and who are mentally resilient, who have a clear purpose, coming in and writing their stories as well. It's an anthology. If you don't understand what is an anthology is like, it's going to keep happening again and again and again, and at one point of a time become an encyclopedia of purpose. Yes, I dream really very big, guys, if you're thinking. Yes, and on that note, yes, Dr. Sumana is a person who wishes illogically, unrealistically, and then uses the logics and realism in the world to make it true. To make it true. Yeah. My dreams are unrealistic, but I have logic and realistic things to make it true. Don't worry. I'll one day make it true for everyone. So
There
yeah,
is always a path. There is always a path for that. Sumana, thank you for that path of opening up so people can understand this book. There are many questions coming through. Where do we register on the previous query? There is a Facebook page called Mental Resilience Mastery. Go into that and you can put your name, and we will then call and interview you as to whether we take you aboard. It's a very personalized community. As you can see, the niche is very tight. And we would like to not just retain that, but make sure it's continued in the same manner. The same thing applies to the book. The accessibility of the book will be on all platforms globally. Currently on Amazon, you're welcome to do that. If you have any challenges, contact one of the MRM guys. There is 30 of them out there to do that. Sumana, I would like you to very quickly, succinctly, in probably no more than 30 seconds, statement for the crowd so they can recall and remember you from this particular interview. Just a quick statement. Take away for them.
Smile. Whatever you want to bring in your life, just smile. Be the person that you want to be. Become the superlative person that you want to be. Nobody's there to stop you except you. And nobody's there to drive you except you. Be very, very clear about your why. Ask your why to yourself each and every day. Bring it up. Ask everything that you're doing. Just ask your why. And no matter what is your age, where are you from, what are you doing, you gotta ask yourself, why am I doing this? And that answer will bring the smile on your face. Even if the answer is, I want to pay my bills, I'm happy about doing a work to pay my bills. Because my why is very clear. Thank you so much.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sumana. And I'll close this whole segment with just a phrase that I carry with myself everywhere I go. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, if your why is big enough, the facts don't count. You will find a way to maneuver through that to clinch your why. come and see how we play this game of why in this MRM, and then imprint that in your life such that you can leave some footprints behind for others to follow. God bless you. Have a great, fantastic week. We'll catch up with you soon. Ciao.